Absolutely. I wouldn't go to his funeral. Never, ever in life, ever be cool again. Never. No matter the circumstances, no matter.
This ongoing drama between Ari and Tuson has gotten even messier as new details and allegations have surfaced. The tension began months ago when Tuson accused Ari of not paying him the $20,000 she promised for a car, despite publicly gifting him a check for the same amount. Now, after a public airing of their argument on Bet Plus, things have escalated with both parties throwing serious accusations at each other. Let's break down what's been happening and how the situation has reached its boiling point. The feud between Ari and Tuson came to a head in July when Tuson publicly exposed Ari for allegedly failing to give him the full $20,000 she had promised for his car. Tuson also claimed that, on top of this, Ari had never paid him for the episodes he worked on for her cooking show. He even set up a GoFundMe campaign to raise money to cover the cost of his car. The situation escalated when, during an argument, Ari allegedly spat in Tuson's face. That moment, which was caught on camera, not only became the defining point of their falling out, but it also turned into one of the most talked about incidents on social media. Tuson, furious and humiliated, said that it was at this point that he decided to bring the issue to the internet, calling out Ari publicly for her actions. But Ari's response was just as bold. She didn't shy away from the allegations. Instead, she defended her actions, even doubling down on her behavior. Ari made it clear that she had zero regrets about spitting on Tuson and said she would do it again if he ever tried to play her face. She even went so far as to say that if Tuson were to drop dead today, she wouldn't bother going to his funeral, describing him as a clout-chasing opportunist. Initially, Ari remained silent when Tuson first came forward with his accusations about the unpaid money. But when the situation started to gain more attention, she couldn't help but respond. On Twitter, she exposed Tuson for trying to scam her, alleging that his version of the events was a lie. She posted recordings of phone calls between the two, where Tuson allegedly tried to manipulate her into giving him money for his car, despite the fact that he had already received the $20,000 check. Ari's post only intensified the drama, with her making it clear that she felt Tuson's claims were baseless. She refuted his version of events, stating that she had sent the money to the car dealership directly, and accused Tuson of trying to scam her for more money. Ari further emphasized that the initial check for $20,000 was part of a publicity stunt and that Tuson had been fully aware of this. The whole situation seemed to turn into a battle of he said, she said, with both parties airing out their grievances publicly. Tuson, of course, was not having it. He didn't take Ari's accusations lying down. In a follow-up interview, Tuson gave a much more detailed explanation of his side of the story. He stated that the original $20,000 check was chopped down to $10,000, which immediately left him feeling distrustful of Ari. He clarified that he never asked for a handout and had never expected Ari to give him the money for the car. He claimed that the whole situation had been misrepresented and that Ari had twisted the narrative to fit her own story. Tuson also defended his actions, stating that if Ari had sent the money to the car dealership as she claimed, then why would he still be asking for money? According to him, there was no reason for him to lie about something like this. He called out Ari for laughing during their phone call, accusing her of not taking the situation seriously and dismissing his concerns. In addition to the financial disputes, Tuson also accused Ari of scamming him for the work he had done on her cooking show. According to Tuson, Ari never paid him for any of the episodes he helped produce, even though they had agreed upon compensation. This part of the drama has only added more fuel to the fire, with both sides continuing to throw accusations at each other. Ari's response to these claims has been one of complete denial. She has repeatedly stated that she never agreed to pay Tuson for his work on the show and that he was simply looking for a payout. She claims that Tuson is only bringing up the issue now because he's trying to gain attention and clout from their past friendship. Despite Ari's dismissals, Tuson has continued to insist that she owes him money for his contributions to her show. He has made it clear that he feels taken advantage of, especially considering the nature of their relationship. Tuson says that he never asked for a handout and that Ari's actions have left him feeling disrespected and betrayed. His accusations have painted Ari as a dishonest and manipulative individual, and the public response has been overwhelmingly negative toward her. As the drama between Ari and Tuson continues to unfold, the public has become more divided. Ari's fans have largely stuck by her side, believing that Tuson is simply trying to use her name for his own benefit. On the other hand, Tuson's supporters have rallied around him, calling out Ari for her alleged mistreatment of him and accusing her of taking advantage of their friendship. This situation has become a public spectacle, with both sides airing their dirty laundry for the world to see. The drama has spilled over into social media, with both Ari and Tuson posting about each other constantly. It's clear that there's no turning back for either of them, and this feud is likely to continue for a long time. What's most interesting about this situation is how both Ari and Tuson have leaned into the drama for attention. While it's clear that there are serious personal issues between the two, both seem to be using the public fallout to stay relevant and keep their names in the media. Whether this is a calculated move to gain more followers or just the result of a toxic relationship is unclear, but what's evident is that both parties have been able to turn their personal drama into public entertainment. The ongoing feud between Ari and Tuson is a complex one, with both sides accusing the other of dishonesty and manipulation. The allegations of financial disputes, unpaid work, and the infamous spitting incident have fueled a firestorm of controversy that shows no signs of dying down. So, who's right in this situation? It's hard to say, as both parties have presented compelling arguments for their actions. On one hand, Tuson's accusations of being scammed and mistreated by Ari may hold weight, given his consistent claims of unpaid money and unfulfilled promises. On the other hand, Ari's defense of her actions and her insistence that Tuson is simply looking for clout may also be valid, considering the nature of their public fallout. In the end, the truth may lie somewhere in between, but one thing is for certain: this drama is far from over. Whether Ari and Tuson will ever reconcile or continue their public feud remains to be seen, but their actions have undoubtedly left a lasting impact on their reputations and careers. The question now is whether either of them can move forward without further damage to their personal and professional lives.